All right, I sped this up so you don't have to.
I want to take the start of the show to address some of the things that have been going around on public, namely about a group text chain that has been made known and released by Candice Owens. And I just want to address it head on because, that was a text grab, a screen grab that I had shared with people. So it is authentic. And I want to go into it because I actually am really excited that the truth is out there. I first want to say the reason I didn't share that screen grab publicly is because it was a private.
Okay, so my point here is what Candice did precipitated this response. So anybody saying that Candice is not breaking news, she broke the news that created this. And when you're coming onto my video, and this is what I want you guys coming on my video and discussing things. That's the whole point. Scrutiny is what's necessary here. But when you come on saying like, oh, I like Steven Crowder, he's good. I don't like Candice Owens, she's bad. Okay, that's fine, but none of that addresses the reality that Candice is breaking news. And this is like concrete evidence that she is breaking news. She's not just out there. Somebody said she reminds me of an ex-girlfriend that I had. She's crazy. Lots of that. Like, that's fine. You can come on my video and say those things. You're free to do whatever you want, but it doesn't do anything but cultivate a mob mentality. I don't want a mob mentality here. I want the facts. And we do well by Charlie, who is now dead, if we concern ourselves with the facts, not with how you feel about Candice Owens or Steven Crowder or Andrew Kovac or I like the point that he actually makes right here.
There was nothing hidden about Charlie's views on Israel. Like Charlie, I worked with Charlie on every major issue that we talked about, immigration, abortion, transgender stuff. And he thought about the Israel issue a ton, all the time. It was in the news all the time. People cared about it a lot. He cared about it a lot. Just before the shooting happened, I finished reading, this is a 700-page book about the history of the Israel-Palestine conflict. I read this book because Charlie said, Blake, get really well versed on this so you can help me whenever it comes up and just know stuff off the top of your head. Yeah. So I read it for that reason. If you want to know Charlie's views on the Gaza war, he wanted the war to end. He didn't want America to take Palestinian refugees. He was annoyed when people advocated that. He didn't want American troops on the ground there or with any other war. And he was upset when he saw stories about churches being damaged or Christians being killed. But at the same time, he recognized Hamas started the war. Hamas could end the war. Israel ultimately.
I mean, that's where I am. So I've done a lot of study on the origin of Islam. Hamas started the war. Israel can end the war. I hear what Candice is saying about the genocide. I'm on that too. Like, innocent children should not be bombed in order to achieve the goal. But this is where it's dicey, man. We're talking about Islam that Hilaire Belloc points to, I think, Bahira, who was a Christian. Let me turn this down more. Bahira was a Christian heretic monk who made some kind of prophecy about the young Muhammad before he went to Mecca and started all the bloodshed. And we know that like that got so bad that Islam almost, I think for a time it did take over Spain and threatened the rest. But thank you, Charles Martel, for fighting them off. I'm sure lots of children died during these battles and stuff, but children shouldn't and should never be the targets. This is getting murky. Let's just say the whole point of this is there's a lot of stuff that you guys need to start looking at and talking about how you like Candice Owens or don't like Candice Owens, or you like Steven Crowder or don't like Steven Crowder. That's not helpful here. That just cultivates a mob mentality, and we don't need mob mentality. We need first principles, facts. The fact is Charlie Kirk was murdered in front of our eyes. And the narrative that we were given on public TV, on national airwaves by people like Spencer Cox saying, oh, we got him. We got the guy. Even though Tyler Robinson was not wearing clothes that could really conceal the rifle that he had. Let's look at the facts. I'm blanking on the what was the type of gun? Mauser. Yeah, so that's the type of gun. We need to be very, very accurate about the first principles, about all the elements here, so that we can say, I don't believe Spencer Cox's narrative. I don't believe Kash Patel's narrative. if they have a screwdriver on the roof that has Tyler Robinson's genetic material, then how was that gun disassembled so quickly if that was even Tyler on the roof jumping off? How did it get reassembled if he left the gun? Like, it doesn't make sense. He definitely didn't have that gun stuffed down his clothing when he jumped off, if that was even where the shots were fired. We need answers to this stuff because we were told data. Spencer Cox told us data. Kash Patel told us data. That data doesn't line up with Tyler Robinson being the one arrested. I think Tyler Robinson is an accomplice, is a co-conspirator, but that means multiple people. And I understand the message that our government is giving us that there was only one shooter. He acted alone. I cannot suspend reasonable judgment and go along with that. The data that my government has provided me does not line up with the conclusions that I'm being told are the conclusions. I think Tyler Robinson's going to get off if he's not murdered in prison. I hope he does not get murdered in prison. Anyway, hopefully this generates more great conversation. I'm grateful for everybody that's taken the time to post underneath my video. I'm trying to get to all of you. You're going to see, like, I'm pretty neurotic about responding so long as, like, I'm not getting inundated with comments. But I will even take your insults. And somebody said, oh, I can see you look at ChatGPT to make your answers. Well, that's why I'm trying to do this. I'm not reading off ChatGPT. Do I use AI? Yeah, I use AI to come up with possible lesson plans for my kids because I homeschool. And I'm not going to shoot myself. I'm not going to ride a horse to my uncle's house who lives, hundreds of miles away when I can just call him. I'm not going to suspend using a phone because we used to do it with horse and letter. I'm going to use the phone. Just like now, we used to use the internet and Google searches. Now we can use AI to get to things faster. Are there pitfalls with that? Yeah, AI can make up some stuff, but guess what? I was classically educated and I know how to scrutinize something so that just because AI says it doesn't mean like, oh, that must be it. No, you look for first principles. You look for points of reference. Is it citing original sources? You do everything that I'm watching Candice do on her show. Like when she points out the pastor, McCoy. Pastor McCoy, like, why is he cited as the founder of the faith division of TPUSA? Well, Candice looked at the original sources and said, wait, this is totally manufactured. And she said something like, because nobody does their research, I guess it's true because the internet says so. Candice is showing you how to behave. And Blake right there showed a wonderful presentation. It's just unfortunate that it required Candice releasing a text message stream in order for Blake to do that. Like, Blake, do more good stuff. Inspire people to ground things on first principles. Read books like what you're reading. Cross-reference the information in those books with other books. I'm seeing Justice Clarence Thomas back there. Read Clarence Thomas's book, My Grandfather's Son, I think is what it was called. It was great thing talking about. That's a tangent. We'll stop the video here. Thank you for watching. If you've watched this far, you guys are awesome.